When my son asked me if he could be involved in professional sport, I said yes, of course you can. And he said how? He said there's no one in sport who has any of the challenges that I do. My aim was to find these athletes, coaches, professionals, and interview them and share their stories so that we can show the world what is beyond perception. Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond Perception podcast, a podcast created to explore the world of sport and the people who are involved in it, from the athletes, coaches and staff who are both on our screens and behind the scenes. And further to this, we want to delve deeper into the neurodiversity and physical disability of our guests and learn what it takes to be where they are and also inspire others out there. I'm your host, Greg Mannion, and I'm joined again by my co-host, Tatjana. Tatjana, how are we?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? How was your week?
I'm not so bad, thank you. I've had a good week so far. A little bit of training, working with the lads over in the academy program. Been out for a game, and looking forward to getting back onto the podcast and recording another great episode with yourself. How's everything going for you over in Holland at the moment?
It's very grey. Still cycling my day away. That rhymed. That was quite cool. Just reading, just uni work, projects, research. Bit of research for this as well. It's a mix of everything, but it's fine. Better busy than not to do anything. But yeah. Apparently it's gonna snow today. We'll see. Who knows? Hopefully not, because I don't want to fall off my bike again. But we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Excellent.
We're looking forward to hearing that next week. All ready for another episode with another great guest?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Today we're joined by our guest, Michael Thompson. He is a local rugby player and currently a rugby coach at a learning difficulty club. His dad was a coach and inspired not only the players that he coached, but also himself, and just his love for rugby grew to something completely else. So we're going to delve into more about himself, rugby, and then, well, I don't want to spoil too much. Get ready, get your drinks, get your headphones, maybe even your speakers, and let's get ready to introduce our guest.
We're delighted to be joined by Mike Thompson. Mike, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
I'm good, thank you. Good, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, not a problem. Really good to get you on the podcast. We've known each other for a good number of years from our days at Thatterweave, and I just think your story is going to be really inspiring for a lot of people, and I think it's something that people need to hear and share. So me and Tatjana are really looking forward to delving into the conversation with you today.
Thank you very much.
So the first part of the conversation can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your roles within sport and your relationship with sport?
So I'm from St Helens. I'm a massive rugby league supporter. I've been a St Helens season ticket holder for most of my life, and I'm also a volunteer junior coach at Thatterweave Crusaders, and I've been doing that for about 10 years now, and up until recently, I was also the captain of the St Helens Learning Disabilities team as well.
Excellent. And what was sport like for you when you were younger?
It took me a while to get into sport. When I was really little, I wasn't into sport at first. I first got into it really when my dad was head coach at Haydock. I think I'd have been about 7-8 years old at the time. And even when I first started going to the games, it took me a while to get used to it. Mainly because I couldn't keep still for more than 2 minutes. But once I started going to the games regular, I got more into it. I was able to focus more on the games, and I just got hooked on it really. And before I know it, I'm coming home from Airdot one day. We drive past the old Saints ground, Knowsley Road. And I said to my mum, there's a St Helens game here on Friday. Can I go and watch? And from there, I've just been hooked on rugby league since. It's been a big part of my life since.
Yeah, and with the connection to rugby league and growing up with it, did you play it when you were younger? Did you have any involvements with the clubs?
No, I've never been much of a player of rugby league, to be honest. I tried it when I was in secondary school, but I didn't really enjoy the physical contact side of it. I was always one of them. If someone tackles me, I bruise like a peach, you know. So yeah, physical contact in sport is never really something I've took to. So for the majority of my life, I've been more of a spectator rather than a player.
Nice.
Was it just the fact that you were bruising easy like a peach that made you not want to have that contact, or was there anything else as well?
It was a confidence thing, really, particularly when I was young. When I was younger, I wasn't the most confident of people when it came to most sports, not just physical contact sport. It's only really when as I've got older, I've become more confident, shall we say?
And was there any other sports then that you tried other than rugby? Did you try sports what maybe weren't contact heavy?
I did. I tried quite a few sports in school. I tried things like badminton and things like that. A little bit of tennis. But I don't know. It's hard to explain, really. I've never been really naturally gifted when I've been playing sport or anything. It's hard to explain, really. I have tried numerous sports. I've just never been the most confident, shall we say, when playing sports, you know. So I have tried numerous sports, but yeah.
No, I think a lot of people, especially growing up, are like that. So you have nothing to worry. I'm not athletically gifted either. I've tried so many different sports, and everything was thrown in the bin within a month or two. So I think a lot of people relate.
Yeah. So just on that, so when you were young, you obviously got the bug for rugby league, and your confidence was there to be in the stadium, watching the games, cheering on your heroes. What was those moments like? Like, what was them feelings like when you were young watching those matches?
It took a few games to get used to, a few times going to get used to, you know, being in big crowds and all that. I'd never been in crowds as big as that, but once I got into it, it was I couldn't live without it. You know, being in the middle of those crowds, watching the Saints and having those special moments. You know, I look back on some of the great nights I've had at Knowsley Road watching the Saints, and I look back and I never could have done without it, to be honest.
Oh, that's really good to know, and it's interesting you talk about being in and around the big crowds. How was that for you? Was that something that you say took a bit of getting used to? What was it that it took getting used to?
Just being in that atmosphere, you know. I mean, I had my mum with me, so that was a massive help. And she helped make the experience so much easier for me. It was just getting used to being in big crowds and being in close proximity with so many people. At that age, I'm wary of what's going on around me. But as I say, once I've been to a few games and I sort of got my head around what was going on around me, I became a lot more comfortable in that environment.
Nice. And want to just bring in, we talk about, obviously, on the podcast around the neurodiversity and how that helps defy us in our sporting environments. I want to talk to you a little bit about yourself in that side of it. So can you tell us a bit about what your neurodiversity is and how it affects you, please?
I'm technically on the autistic spectrum, and what I've got is called Asperger's syndrome, and it affects the way I think sometimes. If I'm not sure about something, then it might take me a while to properly think and understand things. It particularly affected me more when I was younger. I wasn't really a sort of an outgoing person when I was younger. I didn't particularly like going out on my own when I was younger. I'd be too wary about what I'd come across or who I'd come across or what I'd do if something went wrong. So as I mentioned before, confidence was a big issue in sport and in general life.
So is it fair to say if we'd have asked you to do this, 10, 15 years ago, you'd have said no? Or are we going further back, do you think?
Yeah, probably about 15 years ago, when I was in my like teenage years, shall we say. Yeah, it would have been a lot harder for me to do this, and I probably wouldn't be able to speak like this with you right now. So, yeah, definitely as time's gone on, I've definitely become more confident in myself than I was, as you say, like 15 years or so ago.
What do you think, if you have an idea, what do you think helped that confidence? You said that it increased as the years went by. Is there anything that happened, or like a light switch moment that you were like, actually, I got this?
Probably the first moment was when I went to Carmel College just after I left school.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone in the college was really helpful to me. Really helped me settle into the environment, and they were patient and understanding with me. Everyone. I was at Carmel College for 4 years, and everyone that I met in those 4 years was brilliant with me. Really supportive, really helpful, really patient. And that was, yeah, that was probably a turning point for me being at Carmel College.
That's amazing. Yeah, we like to speak about the support that other people get, so that's an amazing example of it as well. That's good.
So with that now, Mike, I want to bring us forward a little bit. So you talked about how you were the captain of St Helens Rugby League, which is, we could say, it's a learning difficulty rugby league. And for those who don't know what that is, would you like to just give us a rough overview of what that is?
Yeah, so learning disability rugby league is basically regarding the rules of the game, it's basically tag rugby league. So there's no no like contact at all. There's no tackling or anything like that. Each participating player wears a Velcro belt round the waist, and they attach a tag to each side of that belt. And when your team's got the ball, the opposition have to stop you scoring a try by ripping one of your tags off. And they basically just like normal rugby league, you do that for a set of 6, and if you don't score a try in that set of 6, then you turn the ball over to the opposition.
Okay, cool. And it's your boyhood team. It's the team you've grown up watching. What is it like to say that you were the captain of St. Helens and being the leader of that team?
It was a real privilege, and it's something that I've never ever taken for granted. You know, to be given that opportunity to basically lead my hometown team, and you know wear the Saint shirt and basically play as a St. Helens player. It was I've lived the dream there, Greg. You know, and I did that for about for a good 8 years, and I loved every second of it. I cherished every second of it, and it was just a real privilege for me to have the opportunity to do that.
That's amazing the way you speak about the passion and how it is for you, and I think that resonates with the way you talk, and the listeners will definitely hear that. I want to dig in a little bit, if I can, though, now about the actual rugby. What was training like, and how would you say it's different from what training would be potentially for the non-neurodiverse or those who are not in the learning difficulty program?
Training was more about having fun and making everybody feel included. You know, it was all about you know, doing drills that would suit everybody. But yeah, it was mainly there was a certain amount of seriousness to it. Of course there was, but it was more about everybody having fun and having the chance to pick up a rugby ball. Yeah, and we'd work on developing skills and all that. We'd work on, you know, passing and running with the ball and scoring tries and all that. But the main thing was that that everybody had fun.
How do you move a bit about sport and yourself in particular? How do you think playing rugby has helped you to either become more confident, like we mentioned before, or just gain more skills, or just become, I guess, more like develop yourself more, if that makes sense? Like,
yeah,
make you feel playing rugby, basically.
Yeah. So being involved in that helped me, you know, become more vocal, shall we say. You know, I was basically given the responsibility of helping everybody around the pitch and guiding everybody around the pitch. You know, because there were quite a lot of players in that team who were in our team that maybe aren't as aware of the surroundings as me, and therefore they're not as aware about what they're supposed to do, what they do on the rugby pitch, or where the best places are to be. So I was given the responsibility basically of guiding everybody around the pitch and help me become more confident vocally.
And just to follow up on that as well, Mike, how did the coaches work with you to get the best version of you out on that field? And how was that maybe different to somebody else within your team? Did they specifically recognize what your needs or support would be and then try to work with you that way? Or did they have a different way of doing it?
Yeah, I think they mostly they knew what I was capable of doing, but they also knew what my needs were as well. So yeah, Gaz Foster in particular, who was our head coach, and I've been friends with Gaz for a long time, which was a massive help going into that environment as well. Gaz verbally communicated with me a lot, and basically helped me get used to what my role was and what my responsibility was on the pitch. So yeah, Gaz was definitely a big help to me in that respect.
And just on that, is that what helps you? Is it the verbal communication that you respond better to rather than maybe it being written or things like that? Is that something that helps you more, you think?
Yeah, definitely. If something is explained to me, then it won't take me long to understand it. You know, like if someone wants me to do something and somebody has a task for me and they actually tell me and show me how to do that, then I can understand what they're asking me to do fairly quickly. So yeah, verbally communicating things to me definitely makes it a lot easier for me to do.
I want to move you away just from the playing side because you've talked about how you're a volunteer coach, and when we first met, you were supporting your dad when we were at Fat Oeef, and you were also helping out with some of the coaching, from what I always remember. How do you find the coaching side of it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good, and what was a massive help to me was the fact that my dad was a head coach. I basically picked up a lot of my coaching knowledge off him because he knew so much about the game, and he coached at club level and county level and international level. So obviously my dad had a lot of knowledge. So and he passed it on to me. So it was definitely a help to me when I was making the transition into coaching, and it's been great. I've worked with some great kids over the years. They've made my experience really enjoyable. It's been great. I've enjoyed it so much. As I said to you before, I've been doing it for about close to 10 to 15 years now. More like 10 years actually, but it's every bit of it has been really enjoyable.
No, it's really good to hear. And again, you can see the passion on your face when you're talking about coaching. You can see how much it means to you. Another question, just to layer on this conversation, is when you're coaching, do you have to? How do you think about your ability to coach, and do you consider the Asperger's side of you and how you kind of use that as a strength, or as
I don't really think about the Asperger's too much when I'm coaching. All that's important to me is particularly because I'm coaching kids. I want to make sure that they enjoy the session, and they're laughing and smiling and enjoying picking a ball up and running a ball in and scoring a try. And as long as those kids are having a good time, I'm having a good time as well.
Is there one, because you said about like them having fun, you having fun as well? Is there much need for like reassurance or commentary on their actual playing, and how do they like if you're trying to tell them how to improve in something, or is that not the point of it, or do you still say something, and how did they react, and also how did you react when someone reassured you or? Yeah.
Yes. So I do try and help the kids along the way, and try and give them advice on what they're doing, and they generally respond to me very well. You know, I've given a kid advice on things and what to do differently on certain things, and then they've done it. And they might look over at me and give me a thumbs up and say, like, thanks, Mike. That was a big help. But kids have generally responded well to me. And when I see them actually doing what I sort of advise them to do, it makes me feel then now, oh, they've actually listened to me, they've actually took on board what I've said, and they've continued to do that.
Amazing.
Really good. I want to bring us full circle. I want to talk about you now in the crowd at what's now the TW Stadium. You're a little bit older, a little bit wiser. I definitely know you go to watch the games with a couple of trusted allies who you're always with.
Yeah.
Rugby league's a really inclusive game, and it's becoming a game that everybody can be involved. What's the experience like as a fan now that you are, like we've just described, older, more aware of things, more confident?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Going to the match with a group of people that you've known for a long time. I'm really fortunate. I've got a great group of mates that I've known for a long time. We enjoy going to the match, but we also have our pre-match get-togethers as well. Have a bit of a laugh and a joke and talk about the game. So yeah, the match day experience with the group of friends that I've got overall is fantastic.
And just quickly on that, is it a different feeling for you now as well, with the idea around the being used to the crowd and the noise and the close, you were talking about the close proximity? Is that something now which is a different experience?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely. Everything about my experience, including that being in big crowds and close proximity, I'm really comfortable with it all now. I don't really think about that as much now. All I think about now is actually being at the game and being with the group of friends that I'm with, and just having a good day or a good night and an overall enjoyable experience with everyone.
Yeah, that's amazing. Just that support to have, how much it can completely transform what you do and how you do it as well. Okay, well, thank you so much. We shall go to the ads now. Have a little break. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. No problem.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Beyond Perception podcast. It is now time to say a big thank you to our sponsors, the Brain Charity. They're a national charity based in Liverpool, founded to support all people with neurological conditions. They offer practical advice, emotional support, and a range of physical and social activities. How they achieve this is by organising a range of activities and events, for example, all the classes that they have in the Neurogym. They also work with physiotherapists to provide best support and care for you. But don't worry, they also have digital ways to connect and help you. How you can help them is by directly donating through their website, or you can fundraise a game or a marathon maybe. For corporations, you can work with them on organising different events, for example, team building. They can also help you enhance your inclusivity policies, making your workplace more inclusive, and also you can refer any of your staff members with neurological needs to them for any of their facilities. To find out more how you can help the Brain Charity and how the Brain Charity can help you, visit them on their website, www.thebraincharity.org.uk. Support, raise awareness, and also raise understanding for all neurological conditions, and empower individuals and families to manage their condition and also realise their full potential. Massive thank you again to the Brain Charity for partnering up with us on this podcast and also letting us share this important message. Now let's carry on with the episode.
Those are the ads. Welcome back, everyone. We're still joined by Michael Thompson, shall I say, full name. Right now we're going to go to the little fast questions that we have. Greg, do you want to start off with yours?
Yeah, Mike. So the first question we want you to answer is, what's your biggest learning moment about yourself?
When I knew I was capable of more than I actually knew. How do I put this? I knew I was capable of doing more than I was actually doing. So when I've gone out and done something, and then said to myself, "Well, why have I never done this before?"
Superb. Love that. Thank you very much. Next question would be, what's your most memorable sporting moment?
Probably going to my first ever grand final, which was the year 2000. When I went to Old Trafford, which that was a first for me, in the middle of about 50 odd or 60 odd thousand people, and my first grand final in 2000. And Chris Joint scored 2 tries in that grand final, which was against Wigan, I believe. In fact, yes, it was. It was against Wigan. And Chris Joint scored 2 tries. One of them was right in front of the end behind the sticks where me and my family were sitting, and that was a great moment when he scored that try. Everybody in our stand was just bouncing and cheering and everything. It was just it was an incredible night to be a part of.
Really nice. And just to balance the conversation out, at the other end of the stadium, we weren't all bouncing and cheering at that point. We were pretty dejected. So, but I knew it wouldn't take us long to get into the Wigan Saints debate, Mike.
No, it's actually took us longer than I thought it would.
Next question, and last one from me, is what would be your super strength?
The main one I can think of is to learn things quickly. If I'm doing something for the first time, I obviously won't have a clue what to expect at first. But once I do something and once I've had it explained to me, I can get into it pretty quickly then.
That's amazing. Quite opposite of that now. What do you think is like a weakness of yours?
I'm not sure about a weakness, but one thing I've noticed about myself more as time's gone on is I do pause a lot when I'm talking. Mm-hmm. Like I've probably done it a few times on this alone. If an answer doesn't come to me straight away, then I have to stop for a few seconds and think about it until it comes to me. Once something does actually come to me, then I can just go on with it and talk about it and give the answer that I was looking for.
Do you think that's like just an Asperger's characteristic of yours?
Possibly it is. Because when I've been asking someone something, generally they can give me an answer almost straight away, whereas I can't always do that. So possibly.
Okay. how do you hope that this podcast helps others? Literally.
I hope it will. I hope it will give other people confidence to speak about their experiences in life and speak about themselves and speak about what they've learned about themselves. Help people what challenges they face, basically. Because then, obviously, not only you'll understand more about that person, but they'll understand more about themselves as well.
Love that answer.
That's amazing.
Really love it.
That's a really great way to put it. That's amazing.
I think that's a really outstanding way to finish as well, Mike. I want to thank you very much for your time. It's been really great having to do this with you and sharing your story and learning so much about you. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who will listen to this and watch this and will 100% be more confident and be willing to get out there and be more involved in sport, because you've just proven over the last 45 minutes just how inspirational you are and how anyone can achieve it. So it was really, really good talking to you. Thank you for your time, mate. I really, really enjoyed that.
No problem at all, mate. Thank you for having me.
No, not at all, mate. Our pleasure. Take care now, Mike, and we'll catch up with you soon, all right?
All right, mate. Take care. Catch up soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Tatjana, I thought that was another great episode. It was really good to get Mike on the podcast and share his story. I think so many people can learn from his experiences. And I just was really, really pleased the way his passion for the sport came across. Rugby league's a big part of his life, and that became apparent as we went through the conversation.
Exactly, yeah. It was very interesting to see how over the years from like high school to him now, how much development, if you like, there was in terms of confidence and the support and love for the sport as well. There was, without him always, putting the center light onto autism. He didn't really speak. It wasn't the first thing that you saw when you spoke to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, hugely.
So,
and I think what also was really noticeable was off camera when we were talking with him, and he mentioned it in the questions at the end, where he talks about just taking that pause and that processing moment, and he was obviously conscious of it, because, like I say, off camera we spoke about it, but like we asked, if we'd have done that podcast with him 15 years ago, we would have never even entertained it. So the fact that he's aware of what he can and cannot do, or what his strengths and weaknesses would be, I think it's amazing that he's got the confidence to come on and show the world everything about him and his passion. I really do think it's another really good, inspirational conversation.
And I just hope that the listeners have learned and really engaged and related to his story and understood where he's coming from, because that's what we want from this podcast.
Thank you very much for your time again today. As always, it's great to do the show with you.
Thank you.
And looking forward to the next one.
I know, looking forward to the next one. I hope the listeners looking for the next one too. Don't forget, everyone listening, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also, once again, comment. You can find us, you can comment, ask questions, give us any feedback on your end on our Instagram, which is the Beyond Perception podcast. No capitals, no nothing. And enjoy your day. And until the next one.
See you all soon. Take care.